Smacking, cracking, and watching. Follow me on Twitter. Subscribe. Ray Donovan, season 5, episode 1. This is a season premiere. Can y'all believe it? I remember when the show first started. What'd y'all think about season 4's finale? Felt they could have ended it maybe 10 minutes earlier. This episode is called Abby. Wow. I'm looking forward to the Donovan family, death, more daydreaming, family drama, seeing more of the boxing world, more cleaning, more fixing. Now, what I did love about that finale, season 4 finale, was all about popping trunks. I'm talking about bring that baseball bat. Maybach murders, that writing was pretty good. I love this show because it has a great cast, great guest stars. We had Lisa Bonet from our childhood on The Cosby Show. The same character from Shameless was also on this show. Same character from Justified was also on this show. Powerful actors that are good. To see an actual boxer on the show was pretty cool, even though he lost. Protect yourself at all times. But anyway, y'all, let's get into this review of episode. Are you lost? Are you confused? Are you suffering from too many flashback-itis? Do you need answers? Me too. This episode is basically a Mercedes commercial. Mercedes cars, SUVs, everything Mercedes. You get a Mercedes, you get a Mercedes. Everybody, Oprah. Jon Voight. Jon Voight's character is so freaking awesome to me because he's such a stereotype, but he's also like your drunk uncle / crazy granddaddy. And he's been such a mess for 4 seasons. The fact that he seems to be kind of the only sane person at this moment is interesting. He's grabbing the flowers, the boutonnieres, and got the gold watch, the rings, the necklaces. 2017, yet he's dressing like it's a good 99 kind of sort of. But his character brings so much to this season. Ray's talking to this guy and he's giving short answers. And I'm trying to figure out for the life of me, is that Dewey from Southland? If any of you guys are familiar with Southland, was that Dewey? Terry. Look, I feel Terry, this is going to be his standout season. His acting almost made me drop a tear. One of those Denzel glory tears almost fell. Like I was watching him and he was putting on, he had his suit on. He was looking so suave and he looked nice. And I said, wait a minute, something's missing. And I said, did I miss something in that finale? They drew us in. They really drew us in, man. So he had the surgery and it helped his Parkinson. Wow. To see the other brother, Bunchy, man, he is really trying. He's trying his best. It's like he wants to be independent. He wants to find himself, but he's still let down. He wants to be a freaking wrestler. Let me tell you, I'm all for cheesy wrestling events. All for it. It's super entertaining to me. But let me tell you, when they have the lime Doritos, and I love a Dorito, let me tell you, that Fresca, that strawberry, off the chain. And the lime one that he had, yes sir, yes ma'am. But pork rinds, Takis, heck nah. All of this unhealthiness ringside, come on boy, you know y'all ain't gonna make it. Funniest line for this whole episode goes to Jon Voight, Mickey character, because he said, I'm writing a screenplay, it's gonna be a killer. We know what happened on that finale. Everybody got. Season 4, episode, what was that, 12? Everybody was dead, and we know he's capable. What's that screenplay about? I love his narration throughout this episode. That was cool. So when I saw Bridget at the apartment with this guy, and I'm looking at him, I'm saying, where have I seen him from? And the whole episode, it took me to like, dang that the last 5 minutes of the show to realize he's the guy, the rich guy from Quantico. Do y'all watch Quantico? Am I the only person who watched Quantico? Because dang it, I like Quantico. I should review Quantico actually. But he's on this show and I'm just like, whoa, without all that makeup and a nice haircut, you look completely different, buddy. But freaked me out a little bit because why on earth are you leaving your job with your lemon and limes to go be weirdo at your apartment? I was like, no, don't eat the meatballs. Don't eat the meatballs. He's gonna hurt you. Then he said meningitis, and I said, you know what? I don't know what's going on right now. But girl, please, get yourself home. What are you doing with him? Stop. Pooch Hall, you looking good, boy, as usual. Was that Michael, or not Michael White, like Dynamite, whom I love? That's my baby daddy, my ex-husband. Loved him since I was a youngin'. First love was Alan Payne, and then it was Michael. But this one is Brian White. Hilarious that he's in the show. I just watched him in probably the worst movie I've watched this year on Netflix. But he stayed working. Hey, this is a boot. This is a boutonniere. Completely different, bruh. Completely different. Now, to see Ray walking through the exhibit, all these different beasts. We see a wolf, we see a moose, a freaking buffalo, and then Susan Sarandon comes in and I said, "Ooh, legend. We receive you, legend. Yes, come through." It was cool to see her because she starts telling us the story about a lion and basically them being sacrificed. She tells a story about the older generation of a particular community basically being sacrificed to go out, and she's saying, don't get pushed out. Question, how did you guys interpret what the lion story was? It's a young game. What are you gonna do? No one is saying that, no one is admitting that this woman is dead. No one has straight up said, hey, Abby is dead. They're just hinting at it, crying and meltdowns. No one's saying it. It's just like it's too much for everyone to handle. And it kind of left us all confused. Because I was like, wait a minute. Oh, she had cancer. We know she was sick. Last time we saw, she was like, we got this. We're going to handle it. We're a family. We got each other. And now it's like we're just seeing visions of the past and what we used to have. It sounded like a sad R&B song. It touched us here a little bit, but at the same time, they did not write it straight in our face to say, she dead, y'all. She gone. Yet we hear, sorry about your wife. And that's basically the moment we all knew, okay, we're going to this funeral maybe, and we're not going to, because I thought, okay, we're going to a wedding. Who engaged? Nah, I think we're going to a funeral. So we're in the garage. Somehow I think the car alarm goes off and it jars him to look inside the passenger window. He sees himself and Abby in the vehicle, and he has another daydream. And that was sad. Get us out that sad vibe. What you think about this whole Wizard of Oz situation? Let me tell you. That stuff has to be true, because I remember reading years ago, like maybe 5 years ago, about all this weird stuff that happened, and I'm hanging someone, and I've heard of them doing some freaky little nasty stuff, and who knows what happens behind scenes of the freaking a Disney set. Who knows what happens behind a Disney movie? You know, who knows what the Cheetah Girls was really doing? Who knows what That's So Raven or Full House? I'm sure Full House had a bunch of mess, or Saved by the Bell. Y'all saw the little stupid movie that came out about Saved by the Bell, how they were messing around. I mean, we don't know, but you can only assume it was some foolery. But every time Ray is stressed, a little stressed, he thinks of Abby as if Abby is his place of, I can't think of the word I'm looking for, where he seeks shelter. You know, his place of refuge, his special place, you know, that place you go to when you're at work and you don't want to be there. You're like, oh, I'm on the beach. It takes him out of the present moment of, I don't want to be right here in this particular situation. I would rather be with her because she makes me happy. And that, my friend, is our heartstrings being strung along this season. Okay, so this whole car crash situation. Look here, I thought it happened. Real confused at that point. They really didn't tie it in to show us what the heck was going on. You crashed. I'm thinking, okay, you got Susan Sarandon's homie in the back seat. It's about to be an issue. For real, for real. Are you okay? I'm okay. Y'all got both airbags deployed. Are you crazy? Faces should be smashed. It shouldn't just be a little red blood, okay? Disorientation, dust coming out of the airbags. Show the reality. That's how I knew, look, this Flash is a little bit stupid. And who was the chick up top in her underwear holding some Skechers or whatever kind of little cheesy shoes she had in her hand? What was that about? Maybe I missed it. Maybe I took my glasses off at that moment. At that particular moment. Do you guys know who she was? Ray is having a vehicular issue, collision. His brother is having a collision on the freaking wrestling mat because he's blowing his chance. It was cool. The person who he was wrestling with is the same person in the poster of Terry's bedroom. Did y'all notice that? The last scene we knew was last season. They had this whole shindig after the boxing match. He walks in. He sees Abby, you know, they're reaching out towards each other, and they let go. And her tear falls, his eyes water, and then the camera kind of shifts and we see that the whole room is empty. This guy's flashing hard. He needs to get some help, like maybe some medicine. I don't know. I don't know how Ray's gonna get the help that he really needs, and I don't know what help he really needs. But I don't know. We'll figure out this season, all right? So he bends the corner trying to follow her. He's following her, following his heart at the same time. And he goes into the room and we see Terry. When Ray got back home and he was lying in the bed, and he went to bed with his suit on and a bottle of dark liquor, that dark liquor. To see John Boyd, to see his father, who's such a big mess, be the one to basically almost verbally tuck him in and say everything is gonna be all right. That, my friend, was good writing. The season is gonna be interesting. It's got a lot going on, a lot to fill in the gaps, and then also they're leaving us to fill in a lot of the gaps, which is kind of, I hope they don't keep doing that, you know, all this open-ended shots. I don't like it. Just tell it to us, like treat us almost if, you know, it's like they want to keep you guessing, but don't keep us guessing. Show us, fill it in. It's the opener. Anyway, like this episode. If you did not like this episode, where do you feel this season's gonna go? What do y'all think about Daryl's come up? What do you feel about Bunchy? How do you feel about Bunchy finding himself? And do you feel that the father, do you feel Daddy Donovan is going to screw his kids over? Let me know. Appreciate y'all. Peace.